You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing on with some early deck lists from Brilliant Stars, this time covering Mew VMAX. Now I know a lot of y'all know what a Mew VMAX deck looks like, but we did get quite a bit of support from the set Brilliant Stars for this deck. So we're going to be covering that and outlining in this video. The deck list is in the description, and I do want to stress that these are early deck lists, so I might not necessarily get it correct right off the bat. There might be cards that we might add in, take out, but these are the cards that I think are going to be in a standard Mew list day one. I've been playing a lot of Mew, seen a lot of success with Mew, and I truly think that these are going to be some of the cards that we're going to be playing in our decks ASAP. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and look at this deck list. So here we have it, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Mew deck. Mew VMAX has been seeing a lot of success in our format, and it's really one of those things where Mew VMAX looks like it's going to continue to see success because it's got some new cards to play around with from our Brilliant Stars set. So let me go over some of the things on what Mew VMAX can do, because this might be one of your first times looking at a Mew VMAX deck if you're new to the game. If you're not, stay tuned because I'll get into the new cards pretty soon. Mew VMAX is all about copying attacks with Cross Fusion Strike. It's an attack that costs 2 colorless energies. You could choose any of your Fusion Strike Pokemon from your bench and copy their attacks. So that being said, you could copy your Mew V, you can copy your Mew VMAX on the bench, you can copy Genesect V or Meloetta. These seem to be the best cards to be copying in general. There are a few decks that run Oricorio, and there is an Ice Cube that we don't know if we're going to get in Brilliant Stars or not, but it is something that we could include in this deck if we do get it in Brilliant Star. Again, not sure if it's going to be a promo, not sure, we haven't really seen it beyond the Japanese promo or Japanese card that we still have not seen in English. That being said, we can copy Energy Mix to grab an energy. Typically, we're not going to be doing that. Psychic Leap is a good option for Mew V because you could recover or put a Mew VMAX back into your deck. So that's it works out really nicely there. You also have access to copying a Mew VMAX. You might be wondering, why would you copy a Mew VMAX? Well, let's say if you don't meet the psychic requirement to do Max Miracle by playing our new Double Turbo Energy that I'll get to in a little bit. It is one of those things where you could copy a Max Miracle from your bench. You do have Genesect V with its Technoblast doing 210, and if you have enough Fusion Strike energy in play, you could attack with Meloetta or copy Meloetta. Meloetta is also great on the first turn. With Elesa Sparkle, you can use Meloetta Echo, or you could use Psychic Leap to knock out single prize card Pokemon or multi-prize card Pokemon, because Meloetta Echo can hit for quite a bit. 210 for 3 Fusion Strike energy, which you could get by attaching 1 energy, 2 from Elesa Sparkle. You can even put a Choice Belt on there, some Power Tablets. It seems like everything is endless. This deck works by using Fusion Strike system to draw cards for each of your Fusion Strike Pokemon in play, up to the amount of Pokemon that you have in play. That's how many cards you're going to be drawing for your hand size. And then you, of course, have Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders, especially if you're copying something like Technoblast doing 210, you can target down Pokemon V, VMAX, or now V-Star Pokemon. I think this deck plays nicely with V-Star Pokemon because you can hit the right numbers with cards such as Power Tablet and Choice Belt that we'll get into a little bit more. Elesa Sparkles does allow us to accelerate energies to our Pokemon, which is absolutely great after a Psychic Leap, or maybe your opponent plays Fan of Waves, or early game, late game. Accelerating energies is never a bad thing, especially when Fusion Strike energy is kind of any type. It allows you to power up 2 Pokemon, not just 1. We see a lot of cards such as I can't even name a card, but there's cards that only accelerate 1 energy to 1 Pokemon. So that's, I think Elesa Sparkle just accelerating 2 energies, 1 to each Pokemon, allows you to split paths, and it allows you to be really good. The first new card that we're going to see right to the right of Elesa Sparkles is going to be Roseanne's backup. Now, I wasn't necessarily sold on this card being in this deck at first, but I did ask in a recent live stream, and I had a lot of support for the card, thought about it a little bit more, and it does add elements to this deck that we didn't have before. Because you gotta understand, we don't play any draw supporters in this deck. We only play utility supporters, or things like that. Boss's Orders and Elesa Sparkles do not draw you cards. Neither does Roseanne's backup. But you can get some cards back. So we have no recovery in this deck at all. The closest thing that we have to recovery is Psychic Leap, but this is different. It allows you to shuffle a Pokemon from your discard pile back into your deck. You could shuffle a Pokemon Tool card from your discard pile back into your deck. You could shuffle a Stadium card from your discard pile back into your deck. And you could shuffle an Energy card from your discard pile back into your deck. Now, any Energy card, basic, special, doesn't matter. So we have a lot of options, especially if we're playing against any deck that's playing Crushing Hammer. We could get back Fusion Strike Energy, Double Turbo Energy. I mean, even against a Duraludon deck where we want to have more Psychic Energies, we have access to our Psychic Energies there. We can get back Stadiums against decks that play Path to the Peak, or against, maybe we need a Training Court back and we really want to push it. Maybe we need to get back a Choice Belts. Maybe we want to get back a Meloetta or a Genesect. Like, this card seems like it adds elements that we've never had available to a Mew deck before, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. And you could choose one or more, so you have to at least choose one, but depending on the situation, maybe you don't want a Pokemon back in your deck because you're trying to get that game-winning combo. I could totally see us grabbing back a Double Turbo Energy and a Choice Belt, and maybe even a Mew VMAX because he pitched one early. I think Roseanne's backup is just some extra glue that we need for this deck to really like mold it together. Like, it just needed something else, and I think it does really help here. The other card is a card that a lot of players have known and loved, but some players might not have experienced the format with Ultra Ball. That's totally cool. Ultra Ball is a reprint coming back in Brilliant Stars. You get to discard 2 cards from your hand if you do search your deck for any Pokemon. No longer are we going to be playing Great Ball. No longer are we going to be playing Pokeball, both cards that have an opportunity to miss. Now, I do understand Ultra Ball is a card that you have to discard cards for. It's completely fine because Ultra Ball is also a card that allows us to thin our hand to draw more cards with Genesect. So it's kind of a win-win, the same way that I could use Quick Ball, discard extra Battle VIP Pass, or I could discard an extra Pokemon that I don't want in my hand. Ultra Ball allows us to clean things up and just roll through our deck. Doesn't matter if we need Mew V, Mew VMAX, we can get whatever we want. We don't need to worry about it. It seems absolutely wonderful. Battle VIP Pass is going to be great for those explosive turn ones. I could see us cutting one in the future with Ultra Ball being in the deck, but currently 4 Battle VIP Pass sounds great. I just want this deck to be really consistent. 4 Power Tablets is again something I could see changing in this deck, especially with Choice Belt. But I do think that as we add more ways to increase our damage output, that we might want to have more damage. I've heard of players adding Leon into their Mew decks for this particular format. So think about that for a little bit, about how much power we might want to be adding in. It might be worthwhile to just shoot for the moon. I do think with V-Stars, them having a little bit less HP, I'm pretty fine with the Power Tablets and Choice Belt mix and just our current damage options. So I think it's really good. Quick Ball, very similar to Ultra Ball, discarding 1, and we're going to be searching our deck for any basic Pokemon. So again, really good. Cram-o-matic, if let's say you don't want to play a late game Ultra Ball or Battle VIP Pass, you can Cram-o-matic those away to grab whatever you're looking for. I think that's the reason we can play like these one-ofs like Roseanne's, because we can search them out directly. Fog Crystal is a card that I've cut down. I've actually cut down on the Psychic Energies in this list. This list for Mew typically run 3 for Duraludon VMAX. Nowadays we can get away with 2 just because of the way that we have Roseanne's and can get them back and stuff like that. We also don't need to play as many cards that can directly get a basic on the first turn, so I think that's cool. I have a 2 switch and 2 escape rope. Escape rope and switch split is basically 4 switching cards. There's enough Galarian Weezing in the format where I think players need to start upping their escape rope count to get around neutralizing gas. I think that sounds like a really good plan. I know it's not particularly the greatest matchup here, but I do think that switch escape rope do work out pretty well for that reason. Choice Belt is another one of those new cards, the card that's to the right of Escape Rope. So it's a Pokemon tool card you can attach to one of your Pokemon, and we don't have any other tools in this deck, so you'd have to worry about choosing between like an Air Balloon and a Choice Belt. The Pokemon this card's attached to, it does 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon V. before applying weakness and resistance, that is. So that means that Technoblast can now do 240. So that means that you only need to get to 3 copies of Power Tablets instead of getting 4 copies of Power Tablet. Like, it just makes things a little bit easier. And in the event of just doing more damage, I think Choice Belt really works out. You're very close to knocking out... You're knocking out a lot of Pokemon V just with that. It probably makes things a little bit better when they're playing Cape of Toughness. Like, it just seems like we need that extra little boost. I know a lot of Mew lists are currently running Vitality Bands, so this is a huge increase. We have Training Courts, Rose Tower, and Collapsed Stadium as our choice of stadiums. I thought about going to 3, but then upon reading Collapsed Stadium, I could see how this could be very cool. Training Court to get back our energy, so I think that's awesome. We have Rose Tower to draw a few extra cards, and Collapsed Stadium. So Collapsed Stadium is the card that's to the right of Rose Tower and to the left of Fusion Strike Energy. Each player can't have more than 4 benched Pokemon. If a player has 4 or more bench Pokemon, they discard bench Pokemon until they have 4 on the bench. The player who played this card discards first. I could totally imagine this being a game changer in a Jolteon matchup, Rapid Strike Urshifu matchup, any matchup where your Pokemon gets damaged, because we can now go Collapsed Stadium, discard a heavily damaged Pokemon, get that card back with Roseanne's backup, and then likely power it up in the same turn, or just attack with a different Pokemon in general. Or maybe we just want to take away a Pokemon off the field. I know it does limit our Fusion Strike system, but reasonably it only limits it to 4 bench, which isn't ridiculous. It just makes it... I think it's appropriate. So if, again, a heavily damaged Pokemon or anything that's within range of just getting knocked out on the bench, whatever, you could definitely use Collapsed Stadium, discard it, get those cards back now with Roseanne's backup, and bring it back. It's also a great path counter, and you can recycle this card itself with the Roseanne's backup. So there's a few ways to make it happen, and having access to 5 stadiums in a game can definitely be hot when you're playing against Path to the Peak decks, which I'm assuming are still probably going to see a lot of success. Fusion Strike Energy is great because it works with Elesa Sparkles, and it's kind of a multi-energy for all of the different Fusion Strike Pokemon, which we only play Fusion Strike Pokemon. Basic Psychics are a necessity, just because Duraludon's in the form and other stuff. Double Turbos is the last card right beside my face, and it's absolutely amazing. So as long as this card's attached to a Pokemon, it provides 2 colorless energy. The attacks of this Pokemon do 20 damage less to your opponent's Pokemon. But that being said, you can still slap it on for a single attachment, use Cross Fusion Strike, and attack for 190 now. But with Choice Belt, it's now attacking for 220. So it's still like really working, and Power Tablet allows you to make up for the loss. You can get this card back with the Roseanne's, so you have access to a couple of them. Now, there is a world where I see Mew lists running Roseanne's and just 4 copies of Double Turbo Energy. I think it's really one of those things where we might see a different build that does not play Elesa Sparkles and does not play Meloetta. We might see like an actual turbo version of Mew, because we can search for those energies with Cram-o-matic and all that stuff. Today I wanted to cover more of a traditional Mew list, and I think that this list does work well for an expected day 1 meta. So I do want to point that out, that this is really like a traditional Mew list, and I think it looks really good on paper. There are a couple cards I might change, like I might want a second Double Turbo Energy. We might find that that's amazing, or we might find out that it's too many energies. We might want to cut Psychic Energies out of the deck because Duraludon might not exist, and it's better to play 3 Double Turbo Energies. I'm not sure, and we're still experimenting on this format, but this is my hot take on a Mew VMAX deck, and I really hope that it allows you to understand a little bit more about our Brilliant Stars format. As always, all the links to the cards are in the description. Shout out to PokeBeach for helping with the translations and all that, and I hope that you enjoyed this deck profile. That's what we got going on with this video today, peeps. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Mew VMAX and some of the cards to come. I'm sure Mew VMAX is going to continue to see success. We'll see how the metagame changes up, but reasonably, Brilliant Stars seems like it adds a lot of tools for existing decks. There's a handful of new decks, and it looks like a very exciting set. I totally recommend that you pick up the set when it becomes available. You could always use code Lesage5 to save 5% off at PTCGO store.com to pick up some codes, whether it's going to be for PTCGO or when PTCG Live does come out, which should be soon. Not entirely sure. There's definitely some rumors that are churning everywhere. So again, give this video a thumbs up. It really does help boost the YouTube algorithm and supports me as a content creator. And you could also subscribe. Double check to see if you have subscribed or not. I do that all the time. There's so many channels that I accidentally don't subscribe to, or I try to subscribe and unsubscribe. You know the deal. It would really help out. We're so close to 10K subs. Let's absolutely get it. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great day. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video and have yourself a great day. Thanks.